beautiful and a wonderful day. So sorry I've been really cutting short the story. I'm so sorry. But from today, I promise I'll be able to get everything like enough. I'm so sorry. It's been going off and on. Alright, let's get down to today's episode. So it's Act of God's Captive into Call of the Captive's Diary, episode 32, season finale, written by Precious Chinwe Obialor-Ukazim. Alright, so it says, thank you very much, best. Shalom appreciates Uchenna, meaning with smiles. You remain the best in the whole world, she said, before turning to the audience. Honestly, my life is proof that God can rework a person completely if they surrender. She said and continued with her teaching. She spoke briefly about some of the processes God passed her through, about unlearning toxic patterns, about accountability, about line corrections without defensiveness while talking to them. Then she concluded by emphasizing again and again that her transformation did not happen because she married a good man alone, but because she yielded to a good God. The question and answer session was very educative and powerful. Shalom and Uchenna answered their questions with practical examples both from the scripture and from their own experience. The session ended with prayers, corporate, simple, and weighty. Different altar calls were made as Shalom held Uchenna's hand in agreement prayer for the people. While praying, she paused, then she said, I sense strongly that God wants to do more in this house tonight. If you are here and you are in a relationship or courtship, please listen carefully. But you know there are areas where boundaries have been crossed. This is not a call to shame you, it's a call to realign you. She said and spoke about intentions that started pure but drifted into sinful activities. If you desire to retrace your step, she said, to invite God fully into your relationship again, stand up wherever you are. Chairs scraped softly against the floor. Some courting couples stood together, holding hands tightly, under heavy conviction. Others stood apart, eyes closed, lips trembling. Come forward, she invited them, then gave Uchenna the chance to pray over them, and he did. After the prayer, she released them to go back to their seat, then inhaled deeply before the next word. This next call is sensitive but is sacred, she said, and the room grew quiet. You are here and you are not currently dating or courting, but you know you have been living promiscuously. You've been sleeping around or with someone you're not married to, giving access without covenant and trying to fill emptiness with bodies instead of God. This call is for you, she continued, and some heads bowed lower. If you're in this category and you want to stop, not manage it or excuse it, but surrender it. If you want to rededicate your life to Christ and enter into a covenant of purity with God until your wedding night, stand and join us here, she said, and for a long moment no one moved. Then suddenly, one person stood, then another, then several others joined them. Some stood with tears already falling, some stood stiffly, as though afraid their legs would give way. Others stood slowly, hands clenched, breathing uneven. Shalom's voice softened even more. God is not angry with you, she said. He is inviting you. She led them in a prayer of surrender. Simple words spoken slowly, repeated through broken voices. Some wept openly now. Others stood quietly, absorbing grace they had not expected to find so easily. When that session of prayer finally ended, the room remained bowed for a moment longer, absorbing what had been deposited. It was the turning point. But Shalom was not done yet. She stood still for a while, her eyes closed as though she was listening. And when she opened them, her expression changed, not heavy, but intense, as though she was following a clear inner prompting. There is one more call, she said quietly. This one may not be obvious on the surface, she continued, but it has shaped many of your experiences more than you realize. Some of you here, she said gently, have noticed the pattern. She paused, letting the words settle. Every relationship you enter eventually collapses the same way. The faces change, the names change, but the ending feels familiar. It comes in form of control, abandonment, emotional chaos, infidelity, suspicion, violence, and unexplainable rejection. She was talking, and the air in the room grew heavy, not with fear but recognition. At the back, a lady broke down and began to scream. You've prayed, you've fasted, you've even changed many relationships, but the pattern followed you. She said softly, then shook her head slowly. At this point, some people had begun to cry, both quietly and loudly now. I just want to say this episode is a particular one, and I know we read on, like, you guys hear me when I read it, but please, if you're in any of this category, you can just kneel down and also make a prayer, knowing that you're surrendering to God, not to man, and letting go of everything. We'll continue from this episode in the next episode. Have a beautiful and great day. Bye bye.